Thursday, November the 4th, the flooding situation in the south seems to have shifted from Hat Yai, which was the main disaster area, to provinces both north of Hat Yai and south of Hat Yai.
Yes, first in Hat Yai, the province seemed to be, the district seemed to be getting back to life very slowly, and Mayor of Hat Yai, Kun Plai Patano, said that it would take only 7 days for the district to become, to get back to its old tourism status.
No, Hat Yai is a very dynamic city. It can recover, I think, quite soon and quite quickly, because it's basically, a center of businessmen, commercial people who are very resilient, meaning that they can bounce back. But then, the lingering concern from now on would be, what if it happens again? Because this time, it shows that the flood came very, very quickly, without any advance warning. And it sort of drained away also very rapidly.
Thanks to the drainage canal that was built after the big flood 10 years ago.
Yeah, and His Majesty the King was instrumental in designing the two canals, because these two canals are linked to eventually to the ocean.
Everyone in Hat Yai should be thankful for that, because even Kun Plai, who was sounding so desperate 2 days ago, today he said that the damage is less, much less than at that time, thanks to the fact that the flood receded fairly quickly.
But it's still frightful, because the flood,
the speed with which the flood took the city,
and we can be caught unawares again. So this is not something that we should be complacent about. But the latest report suggests that in Nakhon Si Thammarat and also the 3 southern provinces,
it's a big worry.
It is.
We heard story about rock falling from mountain in Nakhon Si Thammarat, and in Pattani we heard story about bodies being washed ashore, probably from capsized fishing boat.
And this is where public attention is less than in Hat Yai.
It's less than Hat Yai.
And this is very worrisome to me, because the real troubled areas are not being closely watched by the mass media, the government, or even NGOs, who are all, concentrating on Hat Yai.
Everyone seems to be following where the camera is, and that
That's right.
It's quite worrisome.
That's right. This is what I call crisis reporting. And it shows a great, weakness, big flaws, because most stations will be fighting for what they call stand-up, reporting, where the reporters or the anchor people, the famous people, appear on the screen, reporting in areas that are accessible to them, to the TV camera people, and to what they call the outdoor broadcasting units, the big trucks that can go into areas which were big enough and dry enough. But then the real drama was not in the center of Hat Yai.
It's in the boundary, which is inaccessible to the rescue.
Where people
activities.
say they have been stuck there for days without food, and that they were living on the rooftops, and that they could not even get help. Helicopters could not drop food there. That's where the real story should be reported from. But reporters could not get in there, because all the resources of the reporting teams on all TV stations were focused in just a small little area in Hat Yai.
The same situation happened when the flood hit Korat, and also a lot of attention was given to downtown Korat, despite the fact that the outer areas and also the other provinces were also hard hit by the flooding.
If you've been following Twitter, you would find that citizen reporting was more effective. We got messages about an 80-year-old woman, having a heart attack, was stuck in a home, and then she needed help. That you didn't see on television. There was families that could not get in touch with their relatives and try to get the people who were tweeting to help them locate telephone numbers, locate people, and get them connected. This is what TV, newspapers, radio could not do.
Those nameless heroes are, you know,
Yeah.
are as much as important as the people who are working before the camera.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So there are lessons to be learned for both the government and for the private sector that were involved in the rescue. But more important, lessons also should be learned by the mass media as well, because mass media are in the forefront of any disaster, and if they don't learn from this disaster, then they will keep repeating. Crisis reporting would be only in a selected, accessible area. Where the real story is in those inaccessible areas, and that is where we should concentrate in next time.